I'm being brutally honest with you. Most of us are anxious and we're thinking, what does this strike action mean at the moment should you fall ill over the Christmas period or a loved one falls ill?
So it is, it's worrying. I think, if you're unwell and you need to get to hospital quickly, then you do rely on an ambulance. So I completely understand, people are getting worried. But, the reality is that for a long time now, we've been struggling to get ambulances in to see, get people into hospital in the right amount of time. I've lost count of the number of times we've been treating somebody who's been poorly, unwell, at the surgery, and they've said, sorry, it's going to be another few hours. The problem with the ambulance service has been going on for quite a while now, and I think they are striking, which I don't think is going to improve things, but the situation is terrible. And you have to remember that every time they don't come, that's somebody's mom, that's someone who's poorly, who needs to go, who is then going to struggle to get to a place where they can get the help they need.
Yeah, and I think that's it. And this is what we know about sort of the delays with the ambulances, and it's a multitude of reasons. We can't get people out of hospitals and they're sort of delayed because there's nowhere for the ambulance to go. And then there's going to be strike action. But there's things now that we might not necessarily know about. There's talk now, has the planning and ordering been done right of antibiotics? And that's sort of come to the fore as people are talking about strep A and preventative antibiotics being given out, or precautionary.
Yeah. So that's very much like our experience at the coalface. So there's been an increased incidence of strep A, and sadly there've been an increased number of deaths of children. So people are worried, and what we've had is it's really not been organised very well. I think we had some guidance on the weekend that said lower your threshold for treating people who you suspect might be having strep A. So, and that was it. And literally, I think from Monday, I think we've worried parents with sick children, and they need to be seen. And you're seeing them. And yes, there are some of those who possibly might have strep A, so will need antibiotics. And then the second problem we were encountering is that they're running out of antibiotics. So usually children get antibiotics in the liquid form. And, by Monday, we had an email from our local pharmacy saying, sorry, we've got 3 bottles of this, 2 bottles of this, and 1 of this. And we're like, great, but I still have a whole afternoon surgery to go through. And now they were getting advice on using tablets and crushing them and putting them in jam or making a suspension. And you're right, it should have been organised. Somebody should have been thinking, ooh, this is going to be a problem. Let's make sure we've got these supplies in place. Let's get them where they're needed. Because the last thing you want if you're worried about your child is to call around 7 different places trying to get the treatment they need.